Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. For some reason, we missed one slok. Yesterday, we directly went to 195th slok and we missed 194th slok. And I see the reason also. The reason was that I thought this was a slok which we have already did vichar, but apparently not. It's a similar, so 194th slok is very similar to 157th slok. So we'll discuss both, and that was probably the reason why we missed it. Um, and if somebody have not heard, the recordings are there for 195 and 196. But today we'll talk about only 194th slok. Aao ji, Kabir Sahib ko sikhiye. Let's learn from Kabir Sahib. Kabir Sahib here is saying, Kabir Satgur Sur mein bahya baan jo ek lagat hi pue gir parya para kareje shek. First of all, we need to learn this. We need to understand this, right? There's a common question among all the Bilakis. Anybody who walks on the path of meditation and Simran, they say, we are doing it, everything is working, but our Panch Doots are still creating a problem. ਸਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਮੇ ਦੀ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਕਾਮ ਦੀ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਦੀ ਲੋਭ ਦੀ ਮੋਹ ਦੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ याद रखो एक चीज, remember one thing always. These five thieves are going to be with us till the time we have swas in this body. We have breathed in our body. The greatest thing with Vaheguru Ji's Guru Mantar, Satguru's Guru Mantar do is that it reduces their impact, right? These five senses, these karam indriya, they will always be with us, right? We will have a feeling of smell, we'll have a feeling of taste, or I should say, we'll have a ras. Ras literally means juice, right? We get attracted to through these indriya, and the five thieves work through the indriya, through the senses, right? Seeing something, smelling something, listening to something, tasting something, the feeling of touch and all that stuff, right? But what does Maharaj's Naam, Maharaj Gurmanta do is it reduces the impact. Long time back, the Gurmukh Pyare did a survey. One of the Gurmukh Pyare, he did a survey among the Sangat. And he said, and we have discussed it in here also multiple times, that if you want to improve, start creating your lekha. And I can share again the Excel file on Telegram as well as on Signal with the Sangat, so that you can start writing your own lekha, your own account. What happens is that when we'll start looking into the lekha, where are we putting our swas on? ਪੂਰੇ ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖਰਚਦੇ ਪਏ ਆ, where we are spending our swas, it helps a lot, right? So then you can say, okay, I'm spending if I have a lot of stress, if I have a lot of depression, lot of things going on in my life, worries and all, then you are obviously spending most of your swas in the Rajogun. When you will see that, okay, I feel a lot of lust, I am angry, and I have a lot of attractions and all that stuff, and ego, then we know that we are spending our swas in Tamogun. So Lekha file is actually, it will help you to know where exactly we are spending our swas. And it is very important to grow in spirituality, because then we'll see what Taramraj is noting it down, right? Taramraj, Chitragupta de through, it will collect our lekha, right? Everybody knows, right, what Taramraj's duty is and Chitragupta's. If not, then with Vaiguruji's Kripa, in future lectures, we can talk in details. But high level, Chitragupta, as the name suggests, Chitra is a picture, Gupta is secret. So it's a Sukham body which is clicking our pictures of everything, every thought we take, basically. Whether that thought is converted into an action or not, Chitragupta is basically taking our pictures and know what kind of thoughts we are taking, what actions we are doing. So even if we are hiding it from the world, ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਰਦੇ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ so lot of things which we do behind the curtain and we think nobody is looking at us, but Vaiguruji is looking at us all the time through these agents, through these Junes, right? So that this lekha can go to Taramraj and he can evaluate why we were sent to this world and what did we spend our swas on. ਆਪਣੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖਰਚ ਕਰਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ we don't think much about these things, but these are very important, and that's the whole idea, that when we do Simran, our mind should start waking up. Mind should start thinking about where mind is spending most of the swas. And coming back to the survey, when the survey was done by Gurmukh Pyare, and Gurmukh Pyare noted it down that when people are spending most of their time in Rajogun and Tamogun, they are doing very less Simran. Bada cut Simran ਉਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਅਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਮੰਤਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ, right? It's like that Gurmantar is not touching to their mind, because if the heart is pierced by the Shabad, first by Gur Shabad and then by Shabad, then you will not spend most of your swas in Tamogun and Rajogun. You'll be spending most of your swas in Sattogun. And that's what he did. When he did this survey and he asked a lot of Gurmukhs ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਕਿੱਥੇ spend ਕੀਤੇ, and they all filled this lekha document which we are talking about, and they came to know that they were not doing much Simran. So it was a range, right? People who are doing half an hour Simran or 20 minutes Simran, where they are putting their swas, 1 to 2 hours where they are putting their swas, right? And the people who were doing 5 hours Simran, or between 3 to 5 hours, and then 5 hours plus where they were putting the swas. Because let's divide our day into 3 parts, 24 hours, right? 8 hours, 8 hours, and 8 hours. Let's say 8 hours for sleep and 8 hours for work and eating and whatnot. Next 8 hours, where are we spending, right? Are we spending doing Simran, reading Bani, doing Kirtan, or are we spending those 8 hours in watching YouTube, in social media, and all? We all have to, not just the kids. What my uh, assessment is, actually, parents are spending more time in social media than kids. Like parents are spending more time in news and YouTube and other stuff than the kids, right? So we have to evaluate, right, where we are spending, and the lekha is a good way. But anyway, the result came out that people who were doing 5 hour Simran and all, most of their swas was in Sattogun, right? What is Sattogun? Sattogun is again Daya, Taram, Santok, Sanshilta, your compassion, satisfaction, Sahaj. You start getting into peace, right? You are more happy. And ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਸੱਤੋ ਗੁਣ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੌੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸੰਤ ਕਾ ਮਾਰਗ ਧਰਮ ਕੀ ਪੌੜੀ ਕੋ ਵਡ ਭਾਗੀ ਪਾਏ, right? That this is the marg, this is a path of a sant. when you start living in Sattogun. And that's what's happened with the Guru Mantra Jap, right? Then only our focus will be less on the Tamogun and the Rajogun stuff. It will be still there, but it will be extremely less, right? It will be only used wherever it is necessary, because you still have to work, right? And we know the game of the Char Padarat, right? We have discussed in the path, in the past, right? That earth chara, one of the thing is where you do work or where you study, you have to do because of the physical body. So you will be spending some time in Rajogun for that matter, right? But it is necessary. That's why I'm saying, if you are thinking that it's going to be eliminated, it's not possible, 100% possible in this physical body, but it will be very, very less, only where it is needed. And most of the time you'll be spending in Sattogun. So I'll share that lekha document, because ऐसे पीछे ऐसी अरदास करते हैं ना, that's why we do ardas every day, right? We should do this, right? Lekhe katena chutiye khin khin pulanhar bakshanhar bakshla nanak paratar. We do ardas that Vaheguruji, don't look into my account, don't look into what good karms and bad karms I did, because if you will start looking into it, then I'll not be able to cross this Pavsagar, cross this ocean of fire, right? Because Maya to apa fir lang nahi sakde, sada beda dub jayega, है ना? That's why we do ardas. Bakshanhar baksh le, Vaheguru Sache Pasha, you are bakshanhar. So forgive me. Manu maaf kar diyo, manu baksh lo ke main cross kar la this ocean of fire. So ਇੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਿੱਚ what is Kabir Sahib saying? Kabir Satgur Sur mein bahya ban jo ek, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੜੀ ਹੋਮੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ, the person was basically all of us, right? This applies to everybody of us, that we carry a lot of baggage of our home, lot of titles, lot of ahankar is there. Oh, I am such and such, I have such and such, I am, the leader of some organization, right? And I have lot of money, बड़े लोकी मनु सलामा कर दे, है ना? All this is home. And this is the biggest problem living in the Kal Yuga, because it's totally opposite. And we have discussed this in the past multiple times. Work and all pressures tell us that, okay, we have to compete with others. Whereas Gurbani tells us to be Sahaj. The spiritual path is totally different. And the answer to this question is always balance it out. Spend more time in Bhakti, in Simran, right? When you will spend more time in Bhakti, what will happen? You will be satisfied because your mind will start living in Sahaj. And then that is the true, then only our mind will be attuned with the Satguru's hukam, with Vaheguruji's hukam. Because that baan, that arrow will pierce us when we'll say, Wah, Guru, our, our ahankar, our ego will go away. The thoughts of lust, greed, anger, attachment will go away. Stress will go away. Maharaj कहते हैं ना, सास सास सिमरो गोविंद, मन अंतर की उतरे चिंत. All the worries will go away. All the desires will go away. Trishna bujai har ko naam. Only limited stuff will remain. Whatever is needed to basically help this body survive, the physical body survive. ਉਹੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਬੀਰ ਸਤਗੁਰ ਸੂਰ ਮੇ ਬਾਹਿਆ ਬਾਨ ਜੋ ਏਕ, ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫੇਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਚ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਲਾਗਤ ਹੀ ਪੋਏ ਗਿਰ ਪਰਿਆ ਪਰਾ ਕਰੇ ਜੇ ਛੇਕ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੱਜਿਆ, I came to the ground. What does that mean, coming to the ground? Basically, all the home which I had, all the ego which I had, which I was saying, oh, I am such and such, I have such and such, the gribi aa gayi. Gribi means the humility came. You became more humble, right? Lagat hi pue gir parya para kareje chek. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਛੇਕ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ, meaning what happened with that? ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ my mind was pierced by the Shabad. Sukham, this is all Sukham. Mind is Sukham. The arrow, of the Shabad is Sukham, but it changed it. What happened? Humility came. Gribi aa gayi man de vich. And this is the same Shabad which we discussed in the slok 157 also in the past. Kabir sacha Satgur main milya, Shabad jo bahaya ek, ਲਾਗਤ ਹੀ ਪੋਏ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਪਰਿਆ ਕਲੇਜੇ ਛੇਕ ਵੈਰੀ ਸਿਮਿਲਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੱਚਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹਨਾ ਸੱਚਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ when I read it, when I followed it, when I did what he said jap naam, when I did the jap naam jap, when that the arrow of that shabad, ek arrow, only one arrow, right, when it came to my heart, ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਾਮ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਲੋਭ ਮੋਹ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ negligible ਹੋ ਗਏ almost ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਏ and that's how the gurmukhs are, right? That's why it's every day's job ਹਨਾ ਇਹ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ that one day we did it, next day we are not doing it. We have to jap naam every day, we have to make a routine, right? ਐਸੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ, we do this ਅਰਦਾਸ that ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕੇਸਾਂ ਸਵਾਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭੇ, that with my hair and with every breath you are a Sikh. The test happens every day. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਮਰਾਜ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਰੋਜ਼ ਦੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਚਿਤਰਗੁਪਤ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਲੇਖਾ ਮੰਗਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ. That's why when we'll create our own lekha, we'll know where we are spending the swas, and that is a kind of a opportunity also, and a kind of a notification also, where what I am doing, where I am spending my swas. ਇਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੋਟ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ. We have to see how my life is progressing, how my spiritual life is progressing, right? One thing is the worldly life. Okay, I'm doing good in my worldly life, but kite aina na huwe that doing good in worldly life we are forgetting our guru. ऐसे पीछे ऐसी अरदास करते हैं ना, विसर नाही दातार अपना नाम देहो, गुण गावा दिन रात नानक चाहो एहो. That inspiration, that cha should always be there, that okay, every day is a new day and I don't want to waste my swas in doing the bad karams. That's why when we will write this lekha, when we'll write this account, where I am spending my swas, am I spending in rajogun, am I spending in tamogun, or am I spending in sattogun? And Gurmukh Pyareo noted down, you will only spend your swas in sattogun, which is good, only when you are connected with the Shabad, when the arrow of Satguru has pierced our heart. Otherwise, we will not spend our swas in Sattogun. It will be always in Rajogun and Tamogun. So that's why it's a very good idea, especially for the newbies and even for the people who are there, to make sure where you are spending and note it down. And I'll share that sheet in the Signal group as well as in a Telegram group. So make sure that you start making your lekha if you are having a trouble maintaining a routine, and see where you are spending the time. It is also a very good perspective to see what time is available and where you are actually wasting your time, right? It's 24 hours lekha. ठीक है जी, आओ जी ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਲੇਖਾ ਦਰੁਸਤ ਕਰੀਏ. Let's rectify our account by japping naam, by putting our mind in the charan and sharan of Vaheguru Sache Pasha. What is the charan of Vaheguru Sache Pasha? The naam. So aao ji, let's connect with the Guru Mantar. Kis tarah, what is very important in that? We have to listen to our own voice. Jo jeeb to kya, unu kanna naal sunna hai. Whatever we will chant from our tongue, we have to listen from our ears. When we say Vah, the stomach should go in a little bit. When we say Guru, stomach should go out. Not too much, just little bit. And apne samne apan dekhi jana hai. Eyes we have to close. But to say Vah, listen to our own voice. Guru, listen to our own voice. Stomach in, stomach out. Vah te stomach in, Guru te stomach out. Aao ji shuru kariye. Vah Guru, 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 Guru, Vah Guru, Vah Guru, Vah Guru, Va, 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 Guru, Guru, Va, 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 Guru, Vahguru, 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 Guru, Vahguru, 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 Vahguru,
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Now we have to do Antargat Simran. Mind should chant and mind should listen. Sound should not come out of the mouth. Inside. ਮਨ ਦੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਪੇ ਤੇ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣੇ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਜੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਕੇ not there should not be any body movement just relax your body now let's try for the Gurmukh Pyare who hear the Anhat Shabad, Anhat Bani, they can put their dhyan in front of the Trikuti, in the front of the forehead, in between the eyebrows, in the front of that, just maybe 2-3 inches, while the eyes are closed. ਉੱਥੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੋ ਗੁਰਮੰਤਰ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ we have to stop the ਗੁਰਮੰਤਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਆਸਨ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਨਹਦ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਹੈ in the front and for the ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਅਜੇ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੋ put your dhyan in the ears and see if you can hear any sound. Third category for the Gurmukh Pyare who listen to the Shabad but the sound is very less. It's not a heavy sound. Oh apna dhyan where we do the juda, just above that, maybe 2-3 inches above that, ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇਜ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਪਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਲੇਕਿਨ Now very slowly open your eyes. Just look in the front. ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਖੋਲਣੀਆਂ, ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਦੇਖੋ. ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਖੋਲ ਲਓ ਜੀ, ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਣਾ. ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਖੋਲੋ ਜੀ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. ਹਮ ਅਵਗੁਣ ਪਰੇ, ਏਕ ਗੁਣ ਨਾਹੀ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਾੜ ਬਿਖੈ ਬਿਖ ਖਾਈ, ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਪਰਮ ਪੈ ਭੂਲੈ, ਸੁਤ ਦਾਰਾ ਸਿਉ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲਗਾਈ, ਇੱਕ ਉੱਤਮ ਪੰਥ ਸੁਣਿਓ ਗੁਰ ਸੰਗਤ, ਤੈ ਮਿਲੰਤ ਜਮ ਤਰਾਸ ਮਿਟਾਈ, ਇੱਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤ ਕੀ, ਗੁਰ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਈ, ਇੱਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤ ਕੀ, ਗੁਰ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਈ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਿਆਂ, ਵਿਚਾਰਦਿਆਂ, ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ. ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ ਜੋਗ ਹੋ, ਬਖਸ਼ ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. We'll meet tomorrow at 5 p.m.